Hi everybody, welcome to Watches with Dennis, and today I want to talk about the just revealed Moonshine Gold version of the Mission to the Moon MoonSwatch that Swatch has announced. They teased it just the other day, I think yesterday, and it goes on sale today, March 7th, 2023. Probably will all be sold out today, and I do not have very positive opinions about this watch. So I want to be upfront about that. If you're looking for something more optimistic, maybe one of the other videos that will be out or is already out will do that for you. I haven't watched any of the other YouTube videos that have come out about this watch yet. I tried just to go to the Swatch site to get information and not even read any articles, but Swatch's website didn't seem to have any information on the new watch. I found an image of the watch up on their Instagram, in fact. But anyway, so I've had to read a few articles to try and get some details because there are a lot of decisions here that I just find very, very odd. I kind of get it in some ways, and in other ways, I think it's going to alienate people. It's alienated me. And so let's go over the specifications of the watch really quick. I'm not actually going to spell them all out because as near as I can tell, this is identical to a Mission of the Moon version of the MoonSwatch, that sort of collaboration series of watches based around mostly planets and the moon and the sun that came out last year. And they were a big hit for Swatch. It was sort of this partnership between Omega and Swatch. And they only sold them in stores. They were difficult to get. Flippers were charging over $1,000 on eBay for them. It was a whole thing. So now they've got the same watch, except they've done the seconds hand in Moonshine Gold. Now, as near as I can tell, it's a coating. It's like plated. It's not solid gold. Not that it would matter much one way or the other in regards to a second hand. And in terms of pricing, it's very similar to the regular, let me see my cheat sheet here, very similar to the regular series of MoonSwatches, which those run at $260 US. I saw this watch is listed for 275 Swiss francs, which would be about $294 or so. So expect a $25 to $30 premium increase on top of the regular MoonSwatch. So not much additional money, but then again, not much additional gold versus zero. For those not familiar with Moonshine Gold, it's an 18 karat gold, so it's 75% gold, and then 25% is an alloy, and that's true for any 18 karat gold. It's just the alloys they use in this instance to make the Moonshine Gold version, which is something Omega has used for a while, gives it a particular luster. It's attractive. I would loosely describe it. You can look at an image of the second hands if you want. Kind of somewhere in between yellow gold and rose gold. I'd say more towards yellow gold. It just gives it a different effect. And that's true for any alloy work that you would do with gold. But this isn't a video about gold. So what do I like about the watch? I think that the second hand in Moonshine Gold is attractive. I think this watch looks nice. It's a subtle difference. I already liked the Mission to the Moon watch. It's the one that looks most closely like the Moon watch from Omega. So if that's your thing, you might like this additional little splash of color, subtle, gold. It's not overly bright. It's not pure yellow gold. That might work for you. Everything else about this launch, I do not like. Okay, so let's start with accessibility. They'll probably all be sold out today. So in a way, doing this video is kind of moot. But hey, they were working the hype. It got me paying attention. Of course, let's put a video out about it. But so it's only for sale in 4 cities. And according to what I saw in one of the articles, as I cheat and read them off, it's Milan, Tokyo, Zurich, and what's the last one? Couldn't see over my microphone. London. Okay. So that's not even any US city. So much for me being able to access it. So I imagine people who knew have been queuing up for this. And again, it's limited-esque. It's all right. It's limited, but they didn't give a limited number. So what they've done is Swatch has indicated that all of these seconds hands with the gold, those were made during the full moon in February. What are we doing? No, I didn't do it. What are you doing, Swatch? I don't get. What is this astrology nonsense thing to kind of like this false scarcity that you chose to adopt? I understand. I mean, you could have taken a page straight out of Seiko or, hey, your Swatch Group partner, Omega, and just flat out said, here's a limited number of these watches. Instead, there's this, the full moon in February doesn't mean anything. At least it doesn't mean anything to me. I don't know who it does mean to. Maybe there's something, leave a comment if there's something about February full moons that are like extra special. But other than just a way to say that they made it limited around something, I mean, they're even including a certificate about it. So they're kind of trying to suggest it's a big deal. Full moons are not a big deal. I have a moon phase watch. We see a full moon, every 29 and a half days or so? They're not rare. So you probably get one every February, roughly. So again, I don't get it. And maybe this is a way where they're going to, see how quickly these sold and later on do one with seconds hands made in March, full moons in March, or maybe full moons in March aren't special. I don't know. Anyway, that they wanted to do it limited, I get. That they did it this way to act like it's special limited, just kind of, I don't know, it just irks me. It really annoys me. Like they did it to celebrate something, and they did. Same with the 4 cities they picked, I guess. And in the press release they put out, it said something about those cities being associated with gold. I mean, that's probably true, but I don't know. I ain't going to research it. I don't care. It's not anywhere near me, nor are any of the other mission watches, the MoonSwatches. I can't get any of them around me. The nearest ones are, I believe, last I looked, an 8-hour drive away. So again, I don't understand exactly what they're doing. They had a really hype thing. I thought the collaboration last year was a good idea. I know there are a lot of people, rightly, I think, concerned that it might jeopardize Omega's status, Omega's prestige by doing this. But I thought it was very good for Swatch, not necessarily Swatch Group, but Swatch, the brand Swatch. What is this? It's like, we want to be luxury. Is that what they're like? Why are we seeing gold in a Swatch watch? It's a toy. It's supposed to be a toy. They're fun. They're supposed to be fun watches. The pricing already was pretty high given the collaboration with Omega compared to other Swatch watches, but and they didn't add much price to this, despite it being quote unquote limited, moon limited, and with the what little drip of 18 karat gold that we've got on this watch. But I mean, so it's still location only. They reduced the location count even further, and they controlled the supply amount based off of the number of seconds hands they were willing to build on the day of the full moon in February. Why are they not trying to get more of these watches out? What is the idea of taking Swatch, a second watch, a fun watch company, and putting it behind limited walls and trying to do scarcity on it? I didn't think that was the model. But apparently it's the model now, or it's the model that they want to play with. So I think the 4 location only release is stupid. I think that doing the gold seconds hands is fine, but the idea of doing a gold seconds hand that you only made during a full moon was stupid. I get it, Moonshine Gold, but it's kitschy. That's probably too nice of a word to say. It's hokey. It's really hokey. And what little buzz I might have had about this watch, and I admit my level would be pretty low. When the MoonSwatches were announced, I was pretty excited about them. I really liked the Pluto one. Some of the other ones, like Mission to the Sun, I thought, I liked the more unique ones. I've never been a big Moonwatch fan myself in terms of the color scheme, but deeply popular watch. Made a lot of sense to do that. But after hearing about how the bioceramic cases weren't holding up and seeing a lot of people, showing broken buttons and busted ends off of it and stuff, it looked too fragile for the price point. So that's what made me lose my interest in the watch. But I know a lot of people who still really liked the way they looked, wanted to collect them all, and went about and did those sort of things. And that's great. That's what I thought they were going for. And now you're going to make one where if people wanted like the full set, now there's this extra pressure. This is just going to fuel flippers, because as annoying as it is, if I knew for sure I could get one, it's not the worst deal in the world to have to drive 8 hours one way and pick up a watch. I mean, you could still technically do the whole run in one day. I ain't flying to Milan to get a watch, to get a plastic watch that's not even $400. So I think we're going to see these proliferate on eBay. I think it's going to be a flippers landscape. Maybe we're going to see more come out later, but this is just not what I was hoping for out of Swatch. I saw some mock-ups, some pretty gaudy versions of what people thought were going to happen when they were talking about like a gold version of the MoonSwatch. And that was very interesting ideas. And aesthetically, I do like what this is far more than the examples I saw other people kind of fabricating what they thought would be. We were looking like full on Sopranos level gold on gold day date style MoonSwatches were some of the instances that I saw that people mocked up. But I would have been far more excited if we had seen Swatch do a different Omega collaboration outright, not a MoonSwatch, like the Omega de Swatch, instead of a DeVille, or the Swatchelation instead of the Constellation, or instead of the Seamaster 300M, maybe the Swatchmaster 300M, or more likely 30M, because I don't think we're getting 300 meters of water resistance on a Swatch. But anyway, something like that, leaning into that collaboration, but doing really, really different things. So in this instance, I think Swatch played it super safe, went super limited. It's pulling a page right out of Omega, except the limited nature of it is hokey to the extreme. And I'm super disappointed. This is not what I wanted to see out of a brand like Swatch, but it is what it is. So anyway, those are my thoughts about this new Moonshine Gold Mission to the Moon MoonSwatch. But I'd love to know what you guys think. Am I off base? Do you love this watch? Do you love the marketing strategy? Leave a comment below on what you think about it. And that's pretty much it. We're getting close to Watches and Wonders, so I'm hoping we'll have some more, for me at least, uplifting watch reveals to talk about in the coming weeks. But until next time, take care, everybody.